Okay, folks, a little bit of a different video this week. I thought it'd be a good idea to talk a little bit about planners. So, for those of you who use a yearly printed planner, as we head into the fall, it's right about the time when you're probably thinking about getting one for the year that's about to come up. For the last 5 years, I have been using this particular brand, this Hobonichi Techo Planner. They make this in both an English language and a Japanese language version. This is the English language version because I do not speak Japanese. These are not cheap. These cost around $35 to $40 depending on where you get them, but it's figured something you're only going to buy once a year, so it's not too bad. I'll unbox it for you and show you guys what's going on. They make several different versions. Hobonichi makes several different versions of different types of planners. The one that's called the Techo, though, is this one. This is sort of their main product, if you will. Comes in this nice package. One thing I will point out, there's tons of covers for these, like actual covers. I actually do use one, just a plain black cloth cover, but they make dozens of different ones. They have dozens of new ones each year. There are many third parties that make them. The sky's the limit in terms of price for those. We're not going to go over those. They also make tons of accessories, inserts, bookmarks, blotters, all sorts of cool stuff that you could put inside these as well. So there's the accessorization of this knows no bounds. So if that's the kind of thing you're into, you will definitely like this quite a bit. So in any case, when we open this up, we'll just open up the plastic here. Easier said than done. And just peel that open. And we'll remove our book and some little piece of literature here. This is just some advertising for the planner itself, some accessories. This, you can see, is what some of the binders look like. They have different versions of the planner called the cut. This is the sort of the planner. There's also a thing called the original. The original is the Japanese language version. They also have a 5-year version, multi-year versions, weekly books, tons and tons of different stuff. What is this? This is just some artwork. And there you go. So these are made in Japan. It is on Tomoe River paper, although Tomoe River paper has evolved and changed. So I'll do a more thorough review of it once I start writing on this early next year, how the texture of the paper is, although it does seem to, from at least my feel, it doesn't really feel too different at all. So it's got a very nicely made, heavy, kind of leatherette style cover. The binding just simply says Hobo, short for Hobonichi, and it has the year on there. So I've had these the last 5 years, and this format has not changed at all. So when you have them all lined up on the shelf, it looks kind of nice. The gray end papers, again, on a heavy style paper, and then we get the rest of the books all in Tomoe River paper. It says Hobonichi Techo 2022 Planner. It's got the year 2022, 2023. Now it's got this section, which is essentially one thin line per day for the whole year: December, January, February, March, etc. Believe it or not, what I actually use this for in my book is this is where I record. I just write the name of the pen I used each day. So I record each day in the morning what pen I used that day. It works. So when I go at the end of the month to do my daily pens video for each month, I have a nice record of which pen I use. So you can use this for anything that's sort of a daily thing you want to track. For me, it's just the number of pens, which pen I used each day. But again, you can use that for everything, and that's going to go all the way out until the first quarter of 2023. Then we have another section of grid calendars for each month. So December, January, February, etc. I don't use these much at all. I use this very sparingly. I really just use mainly the main section of the book and that front part that showed you there. So this going to go all the way through January of 2023. Oh, February, sorry, I take that back. March. Going to go through the first quarter of 2023. We got a couple of blank pages, which is grid on it. The whole book, for the most part, is this really nice dot, not dot grid. It's grid made up of dots, which is not the same as dot grid. Then you have For each month, you have one page of lined notes for that month, and then now you get to the meat of the book. So this is a typical day of the book. What you're going to have is the date of the month. So this is the 1st of January. It has the weeks are numbered. So week 52, technically this is still part of the 52nd week of the prior year. As you get into we'll have week 1, etc. It'll have the month, the day of the week, the phase of the moon. It'll have this grid for the page, and this is where I keep my sort of rolling to-do list, etc. And it has 2 sort of anchor points for the day if you want to use them. If you were going to use this for a daily agenda, it anchors sort of 12 noon right in the middle of the page for you so you can get some visual perspective. And as a little knife and fork symbol, presumably you can record your dinner plans or what you ate for dinner that night, etc. I don't particularly use that either. Then what it'll have some quotes. The quotes will be in English, but they're typically from various folks in Japan. I read these very infrequently. They're not very intrusive into the use of the book. If you feel they would, they don't hardly take up very much space at all, etc. So, and those just run throughout the entire year. Then at the bottom of each page, which I do find quite useful, is the calendar for the month with the day in question circled. So this is the day January. This will be the month calendar for January, where January 1st is circled. And then each page that's pretty much invariant from page to page, that format. The only difference being the Sundays will be in red, printed all in red, as opposed to the black or gray that the rest of the book is. Each month is tabbed, so if you want to go to a month quickly, you can go January, February, March, etc. Every other month, the colors on the tabs change, so you can quickly get to the beginning of that month. Again, the Sundays being in red. So that is that for the bulk of the book. So that's going to take you all the way out now to the end of the year. It'll then have some dot grid pages, some blank ones, so you can maybe put notes for the next year. Here, we'll just use these for general note taking, etc. You got plenty of these. It's got some, really just one page or two for contacts, so you can only put very few of these. I don't use that. It's got some things like international size charts and conversion tables and a ruler. Again, not stuff that I typically use, because again, most of this stuff you can just look up on your phone just as easily as anything else. The ruler, every time I need a short ruler, I forget that it's actually in this book, so I end up using an actual ruler. But if I remembered it was in the book, I might actually use it. It has a thing called My 100, which is just, you could put your top 100 anything. It's just a generic list here. And this section now is going to vary from year to year. This particular year, in 2022, it's descriptions of different Japanese danbori rice bowls, animal proverbs and phrases. This section is going to have some interesting material. It's going to vary from year to year. And at the end, it's going to have your contact information, where you can put your name, address, and phone number in case somebody finds your book. It's got the information about how to contact the publisher, etc. And then it's got the serial number for this particular book. I'm not really sure why that's particularly interesting or useful, but it does feature that. And then that's it. That is the Hobonichi Techo, particularly for 2022. So if you're interested in a planner for next year, I do highly recommend this. Like I said, this will be my 5th year of using one of these, so I have been using this for a while. It gets the job done for me. I think it's just the right size. It is A6 sized. So it's nice and small. So here it is. It's compared to my hand. It's handheld. It's about the size of a large tablet-sized phone, or a small tablet, or a large, oversized phone. So that's, I guess, a good way to look at it. Actually, we can compare it to an actual phone. So this is a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus phone. And here it is compared to that. So as you can see, it's a little bit shorter than the phone, and a bit narrower. So, but if this was like one of those more oversized tablet phones, like a Samsung Note or something like that, it would be about the width of that. So there we go. In terms of this Hobonichi Techo, I thought you guys might be interested in that, so that's why I decided to do a video for that. Like I said, we're coming up on the fourth quarter, time of year that people definitely would be interested in perhaps thinking about getting their book for the year to come. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. And until we see each other again, have a great day. Bye-bye.